Facebook Messenger. If people younger than me, they even use Signal and Snapchat and Discord and whatnot. So from just relying on a post office, we have moved to having almost 8 to 9 different ways. And I mean, most of the people initially will think that what's the use, but each of this application has their own use cases. People using WhatsApp will not be using Telegram, or the for purpose which one uses WhatsApp is different from using SMS. So SMS is like for sending more official kind of a thing, while WhatsApp is for normal, general family and friend kind of chat. So each of this application has their own unique use cases. So same way, when the monopoly of money is getting challenged, and when things are moving from physical to the digital world, people will not just have government money, which is dollar or peso, in their mobile wallets. They will have open source monies like Bitcoin and Ethereum. They will also have a private money, which is Facebook. If you all know, Facebook is planning to issue its own currency called Libra or Dime. And there are already other forms of private currencies like USDT, that is US dollar stable coin, and USD coin. So right now, any crypto investor will have most of this on their mobile. So people are already moving from a single currency to a multiple currency world. So money is a collective fiction, so choose your fiction carefully. Government fiat, especially US dollar, is backed by violence, while gold is backed by physical scarcity, and Bitcoin is backed by cryptographic scarcity. So there's this famous quotation in the crypto world: Bitcoin is the ungovernable governor of global governments. So this was the kind of role which gold used to play for the kings and monarchs. No king or monarch can ever manipulate the gold or inflate the gold supply. So now moving into the second topic, use cases of crypto and Bitcoin. DeFi is decentralized finance. DAOs are decentralized autonomous organization. We can call it as a corporate 2.0 or company 2.0. And then there are NFTs, non-fungible tokens. So we'll first see the first use case of DAO and crypto, which is, let's say, it's called MakerDAO. It's an algorithm governed mint, or we can say it's an algorithm governed central bank on a blockchain. So it works very simply. You deposit your crypto assets like Ethereum and Bitcoin in a smart contract, or smart contracts are practically codes. You deposit your Ethereum and Bitcoin in the smart contracts of MakerDAO, and you mint DAI. DAI is a algo dollar stable coin. So one DAI is equivalent to $1. And then when you pay back your DAI, you get back your collateral, which was Ethereum or Bitcoin, back in your wallet, back in your account. So MakerDAO is a decentralized autonomous organization, and it doesn't have head office, it doesn't have its team is scattered across the globe, and they just maintain the code. And MakerDAO is very similar to the initial days of central banks. So in initial days of central bank, people used to deposit their inconvenient physical gold and silver coins and used to get paper receipts, which became paper currency, pounds or Indian rupee or dollars or whatever. Now people are depositing their inconvenient, or let's say volatile, Ethereum and other crypto assets, and they are minting a dollar stable coin for the purpose. The other use cases of crypto and blockchain is DeFi, decentralized finance and stable coins. So all these applications, as I had said, are being built on the blockchain or the protocol like Ethereum. And these are not the only applications. There are maybe hundreds and thousands of applications which have come up on the different protocols and different Ethereum and other blockchains. So for example, Neo was an application, or it's called DApp, decentralized app, was built by a team based in Chennai, and Aave was an app built by a team based in London, and they are very similar to our today's banks, or they do a lending and borrowing on for the crypto assets. So what you can do with this apps. So for example, on Compound, I can deposit my crypto assets, which is let's say Ethereum or Bitcoin, something similar to like depositing gold as a collateral and borrowing. So anyone with an internet can deposit their crypto assets in this algorithms in these apps and borrow in dollars, dollar stablecoin at interest rates of 0.52% to 2%. So just imagine how big this opportunity is for anyone with an internet to borrow in dollars at 1 to 2% or 3% interest rate. So this is a very big level playing enabler, because right now only corporates can borrow from in a dollar market or in a euro market. But with crypto and blockchain, even SMEs or individuals or retails can get access to similar opportunities. So DeFi and stablecoin are win-win for dollars and crypto as an ecosystem, and there are almost around $100 billion of stablecoin. So a dollar stablecoin. So dollar stablecoin are like pretty much the private dollars issued by private corporations. It is something similar to if you are aware about euro dollars. So euro dollars, crypto dollars are not issued by US Fed, they are issued by private corporations. And JP Morgan in its 2020 report projected that this market can grow as big as $600 billion in next few years, in next 1 or 2 years. So this is the sample of the Aave app which I mentioned, which was built by a team in London. So I just created this for a demonstration purpose. Here you can see my interest rate per annum is somewhere around 3 to 4%. And I can borrow in variable as well as stable interest rate. I can borrow in DAI, which is a dollar back or algo dollar stable coin. I can borrow in regulated dollar stable coin, and even I can borrow in the unregulated dollar stable coin called USDT. My collateral composition here is 50% is Bitcoin and 50% is Ethereum. So these are the kind of applications which are being built on the blockchains like Ethereum and Solana. So this Aave application started somewhere in January 2020, and just within 1 or 2 years, it's, let's say, a loan book. If like there are chartered accountants, they will understand the loan book size of a bank. So something similar metrics, they have grown to around $16 billion in just 1 to 1.5 years. So all these applications are global from day one. So they get users and customers from across the globe from day one. And yeah, so the total lending and borrowing business which has happened in last 1 or 2 years is somewhere estimated to be around $260 billion. Oops. So this is another example, or you can say a competitor of an Aave. It's called InstaD app, and it's built by 22-year-old kids in Hyderabad. They are based, and they are just 3 or 4 kids, 22, 23-year-old kids, and they built these applications and put it on a Ethereum blockchain. They also built somewhere same 2020 January, and within 1 year or 1.5 year, the total business they have done is $12 billion. And this loan book size or a book size is almost bigger than some of the PSU banks like Union Bank or Bank of India. So they are practically just a lending and borrowing simple business model. You put a collateral, you borrow. You put a deposit, you earn interest rate. And all these things are being done through algorithm. And just 4 or 5 people, good programmers, can build and put it on the permissionless blockchains. And these are just 22, 23-year-old kids. I have personally met them in one of the Ethereum hackathon which happened in 2019 in in Bangalore. So this is how quick the crypto dollars or the dollar stable coins have grown. So if you see the chart from like couple of $1 million to now, it has become almost $100 billion in just one and a half year. So all this USDT is, as I mentioned, it's a unregulated dollar stable coin issued by a private company. USDC is a regulated stable coin, dollar stable coin issued by a private company, and similarly BUSDT as well. So this is also a unique or a very interesting project